So what's up, Brandon?
What's up? What's up, Tyler? What's up?
How you feel?
I feel good. I feel great. I feel great. I feel good about, just what we're about to do right here. Just kind of talk about everything that goes on in the real estate world. I think it's going to be cool. It's going to be a cool little thing. So let me ask you a question. How you got into real estate?
Well, it's kind of complicated. A mix of a bunch of different reasons, but the main reason I was in banking before, and it was just really the same routine every single day. It wasn't anything different. I wasn't learning a lot about finance. It was just the same routine, like I said. So I just wanted to switch it up, work on my own terms, and
So you feel like real estate gave you that option to do that?
definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Was there anything else that, I don't know, that you wanted to do? Was it just, or it's just like real estate? I'm going to just go into real estate.
So that, and also too, like wanting to educate people
Yeah.
about what it takes to buy a home, to own a home, the
Yeah.
responsibilities of it, because I feel like a lot of people my age especially don't know
Yeah. For
the
sure,
ins and
for
outs.
sure. For
So
sure. Yeah, so I'd say same thing with me. Like I feel like I'm a people's person. So like I love like being able to interact with people and I came from the plant. I worked in the plant for 5 years. And the thing about it was not a plant, I was able to do a lot of things. I bought my first home when I was in the plant. So it was really good, but that's not what I wanted to do. Like some
yeah,
people they love it, and I mean the people that does it, it's not a knock on people that do like that work in the plant. But for me personally, I felt like I wanted to be out there and work with people because I feel like I can. That's why I'm better use that,
yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, and so I left the plant. Well, actually, I was a realtor while I was in the plant. So,
oh,
and
I
then
know that.
then I transitioned out or whatever. But yeah, man, it was just one of those things where I wanted something different. I didn't like the having to work on holidays. That's one of the biggest things. Like
Really,
working holidays. Like I worked every Christmas. I worked every Thanksgiving. Like
not
that
even
wasn't
with
for me.
holiday pay.
I mean the pay is good, but I want to be home. Like I like the
Yeah,
pay
with
was really
family.
good, but it's like I'm
Yeah,
real big on family. So like although the pay was right, it's just like I'd rather be
present.
present and being at
Yeah,
home. And then another thing is like I remember how I felt on Christmas, knowing that I was either working nights or days. So like when I was waking up and spending Christmas morning,
yeah,
and
you
then knowing
had
I
to
have to
work
work that night,
either
or
way.
vice versa,
Yeah,
you know, working Christmas night. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to stay home. And I think real estate gave me that flexibility to be able to do that. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's really tough. So what do you think? Like as far as real estate, how has it been so far since you've been?
so I'm glad you asked that because you know, a lot of people, even including you, and other realtors have said like, oh, 2020 was like the time for real estate. Like it was booming. Like we were closing deals every week, twice a week. I started in 2023, January of 2023, so I was coming in on the downfall of that. And I'm ready to see that. So I'm in it to see that. I want to experience that. But right now it's really slow for me. You know, um, a lot of unserious people.
Yeah,
People who just want to look at houses but not be pre-approved for anything, and it's just you know, it's a
it's a
lot of
lot. It's a lot.
stress.
And the crazy thing about it is like I think a lot of people when they look at realtors, they look at it like it's an easy job. And it would you say that it's an easy job?
No, is you?
Heck no. Like
It's
no.
definitely
No.
not what you see on TV. It's
No, for
not
sure.
selling Sunset.
For
It's
sure.
not selling Tampa. Like, it's none of that.
It's not. So why would you say that? Let me ask you cuz I feel the same way, but why do you feel that it's not like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think the people on TV really sell anything.
I don't know. They probably they probably do. I really don't know. But I
Like,
mean,
I think it's reality TV, but I don't think it's real.
yeah, I got you. Gotcha.
But I say that to say because it is very stressful.
Yeah.
Like 1 minute you can have something and think you're secure, and then the deal fall through.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's
Yeah.
happening a lot. That's happening a lot. And I see that's the hurdle. So like there's a lot of people that come in and they're like, man, I want to be a realtor. So like it's two different people that hit me up. There's people that, hey, look, one day I've seen you've been a realtor for a long time. Like when I'm ready, I'll come see you. And then there's the other people that hit me up and that's like, hey, I want to be a realtor one day. And what they don't understand is, like, one thing, I'm not going to talk you out of it. I'm not going to talk you out of
Yeah.
it. If somebody say, hey, Brandon, I want to be a realtor, I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, this is not the
Yeah.
industry you need to be in.
Yeah.
Because you might come in and flourish in it. But for me, I'm going to just be real. I'm going to be an open book. I'm going to tell you what the real is. And it's not as easy as you think because, like you say, you have to weed through the people that's not serious. You have to weed through the people that just want to go look at houses. Because I was a one-step person, like, man, that house for sale, I want to go see what it look
Yeah.
like. So once you find that balance and you find the clients that's actually serious and want to do this, that's when you can kind of be successful in it. And it can get fun. But you also you run the risk of being a lot of time, like, sometimes it don't take, like, a couple of houses. Sometimes I'm showing like houses for months before somebody picks something. You know?
Because there's a lot of picky people out there. But I would rather have a picky buyer, one that's ready, willing, and able, rather than one who doesn't even want to speak to a lender.
Yes.
You know.
So look, that's funny. I'm glad you said that. So the crazy thing about it is when I first started into the industry, I was just showing people houses.
Yeah, you taught me that. Not to show anybody a house unless they're ready to be pre-approved.
I did. Hey, so look, it's funny because, like, I had a client that I showed a house to, fell in love with the house, they loved it. But what happened was, once you do that, that expectation is there. So let's say we're looking at a $250,000 house. This person might only be approved for $150,000.
Yeah.
So now that expectation is at $250,000, and we can't beat that because we have already showed them these houses. You get what I'm saying? So I think those are the little things that people don't know that goes into being a realtor. Then there's paperwork. There's making sure that you're going with the rules. Like there's rules that's changed. There was a lawsuit that happened.
Yeah.
Now we have to get buyer's compensation form signed. Like it's a whole different. Like the industry steady's changing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the biggest hurdle come in at. But I mean, I love it. I mean, it's fun.
It is. Once you get going, you know, it is very fun. But it's just, you know, the hurdles, and then what people don't see, and they think it's like glitz and glam. You have to pay your brokerage. Like you have to pay the gas that you spent on. You know, you have to pay just little things that you spent doing that deal.
Yeah. There's a lot that goes
so
into
it's not as much as I think it is.
Yeah.
Like it's not as, you know.
Like sometimes it don't like the time you spend doesn't account for what you're getting paid.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Like do you feel like
Hold
that?
on now.
I'm asking a question.
Hold on now.
That's the real question. Like,
we'll talk about that.
Okay. All right, whatever. I got you. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so tell me one of your pain points in real estate. Like in the years that you've been doing it, like what is one of the pain points that you have when it comes down to this industry?
Well, unserious people, that's one.
Well, yeah, okay, obviously.
I think that's every realtor's thing.
Yeah.
Unserious people. And people who are serious.
Mm-hmm.
People that you spent months trying to get in line to be able to buy a house, to buy a home.
Right.
And one day you're just going about your business. You know, you open your apps, you get home, you scroll on social media.
I know you go.
And they buy with somebody else.
Yeah.
Like
So-
that is so, and I know it's business. I know it's business. I know that.
It is.
But it comes to a point
It is.
where it's a little personal, just a little bit, especially if you know the person.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this, and this is a message to all new realtors, to all people that's inspiring to come into the business. This is something that I've learned over the 5 years I've been doing real estate. The biggest thing that I had to learn was I can't let that affect my business. I can't let that, because think about it, like nobody is, and I know you probably ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but a lot of people, nobody's entitled Listen, wait, let me finish. Nobody's entitled to
That's true.
buy a house from me. There's nowhere that say that
That's
they have
true.
to. Now, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. The first couple of years I done it, it was a big hurdle for me to get over. Because I'm like, God, dog, like I was salty towards these people. Like I got friends, I got family that bought houses from other realtors. I'm like,
That it's hurtful.
like, bro, like I'm a real, like,
Yeah.
what's up? So I think a lot of times you can get caught up in the thought of, oh, they obviously gonna use me because they know. But whenever they
That's not the
don't,
case. Yeah.
it's not. And I think that goes with everything. And it's not just real estate. That's with life. Like if you can get through or you can get past the hurdle of saying that, hey, look, they chose to go somewhere else. That doesn't affect my business because they're not entitled to support that. That's just like people that start businesses. They get on social media and they get on social media and be like, nobody support me. Nobody support me.
I've seen that a lot. But I will never say that on social media.
Exactly, but they got people that do.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Like nobody is entitled to support your business.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? There's nowhere that they say, hey.
I think it's because I support the people that I know.
Yes.
And I expect people to do it for me, and they just don't.
Okay, but once again, there's nowhere that says that they have to.
Okay.
But that's something that I had. That I'm telling you, but that was a big hurdle that I had to get over because I remember feeling some type of way towards certain people because they bought houses with other people, knowing that I'm a realtor, you know. And then there's those.
Can I ask you something?
Okay. Go ahead.
Have they ever circled back and asked you a real estate related question?
Yes. Now that's where it gets frustrating.
Did you answer?
That's where it gets frustrating.
Because I would not.
What? So that's where it gets a little frustrating because then it's like, well, dang, bro, you just used the realtor, so use your realtor to act. I get that. I get that part of it, but I just feel like what's for me is for me. So I feel
That's
like
true.
at the end of the day, like I'm gonna get the clients that I attract. And here's my thing: I feel like if we spend so much time being mad at the people that don't support us when we just need to put the focus on the people that do support us because at the end of the day what happens is these people are the ones that go out there and get the other clients for you. There's so many people that bought houses from me that I never met, that I didn't know for like the least amount of time. There's so many. I have more of those clients than people that's in my sphere.
I wonder why
or stuff
that
like
is.
It's just I don't know. But I will tell you this: there was a situation with a friend. I think it goes down to the fear of getting denied is one, and then maybe how it would perceive to that person.
Yeah, if you know them.
So it's like, all right, like if my friend was to buy a house and then the lender say, hey, your credit score suck, you can't buy a house right now. So now that's like, now I'm all in your business.
Yeah,
and
I
some
think
people
that's
think that
mostly
way.
what it is.
Yeah. So I mean.
But we all fall short, you know.
Yes, but some people can't take that.
I have
though.
a few credit card bills that need to be paid.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get it, I understand, but it's none of that. Like anything that my clients have gone through financially, like that's confidentiality within me. You know, I would never go and spread that.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that's where a lot of people, that's where like especially people that's close to you, I feel like they don't understand that part of it. And I think that's what it all goes to. But okay, let me ask you this: like, when it comes down to buying a home, like working with, well, what is your favorite part of the deal? Is it representing the seller or representing the buyer? Like, which one do you like?
I would have to say buyer, only because I've done more of that.
Okay.
And then also too because I don't know if I should say this, but I feel like when I'm representing a seller, I always have like my heart with the buyer. Cause like I understand how difficult it could be, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I understand what you mean by that. I get it.
Even though like I have a responsibility for the seller, you know, I still am like, okay, well, thinking in the back of my mind, well, maybe the buyer, you know, maybe you should do this for them, you know?
Yeah.
But I would have to say buyer. It's just more rewarding, especially if they're like a first time home buyer.
Yes.
Like on closing day is like the best day.
Right.
Like that's a big deal for them.
Right.
So
and see that's for me, and that's what I was gonna say. Like I've been on both sides of the deal, and I think I'm not even gonna lie to you. The first probably like 2.5 years that I was in the industry, I was strictly buyers. I didn't have a listing for about the first 2 years that I was in it. I was buyer. And I think I just kind of fell in love with the part of, like you say, coming to the closing table and closing the deal, because and then that's a big thing. Like, buying a house is a big thing.
That's the biggest purchase some people will ever make in their lives.
Exactly. So, but the thing that I love the most about it is like you said, it's so fulfilling to see that. But I like taking a buyer that I finally get them the courage to say, hey, I'm a call the lender. And then they get approval and they're like, all right, well, I'm gonna, because they was kind of skeptical at first. They didn't want to do it, and then you get to the closing table and they're like, damn, I did it. You know what I'm saying? So like, at the end of the day, like, that's more rewarding, because these people come into the situation thinking that they have no chance to buy a house, and then we sit at the closing table, they get their keys. It's that, and then the kids,
and that's the kids. Yeah,
I love the kids, because when the kids show up to closing, they're happy. They got a new home, and then it's good for them, because at the end of the day, they're seeing their mom, their dad accomplish something, and then it passes on to them. Like, hey, I remember mom done that, and dad done that at one point in time. So I think it's a big thing. Like, I love it. I love the kids. They get me all the time.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. My name is Brandon Pegues, realtor with the Real Estate Brokerage. You can reach me at 337-309-3345. Let's make moves together.
So, Brandon, what do you wish that you would have known sooner when you first started real estate? Like, first year, first day, what do you wish you knew?
Like, not like being that I...
being that you're seasoned now. Like, what?
I think I'm gonna answer that in this way. When I got into the industry, like you mentioned earlier, I started in 2020. So you know, the market was totally different in 2020. Like, it was kind of like, you know, more tough situations. You was like freaking. I was dealing with 6-7 clients at one time. It was crazy. It was the best time to be in the realtor. So I think I picked the best time to get into it. But what I will say is, I had a big following, and I had a lot of people that knew me. So I feel like I got busy really, really fast. But I didn't get a chance to learn the business of it. Because when I first got my license, like and I joined the brokerage, I had a client within like the first 2 weeks. So it was just like, I never knew what it took to get clients, because they all just kind of fell in my lap. And that's not, you can't sustain that in this business. Like, we're in an industry where you have to work hard. You have to stay top of mind. You have to make sure that people know that you're a realtor at all times, especially in the day in the market that we're in now, because everybody's realtor right now. So
in such a small space.
Exactly. Too. And so back then, I think a lot of the business was like, it just fell in my lap. You know what I'm saying? Because there was people that knew me. It was like, oh yeah, I want to buy a house. And it was the perfect time to buy. Interest rates was low. So I think, if knowing what I know now, I think I would have took more time to actually, although I was busy, but see what it takes to build a business from that point. Because whenever the market slowed down, I ain't gonna lie to you, I can be very transparent. Last year was the worst year of my real estate. In the 5 years I've been doing real estate, last year was the worst. Okay? But it was because the times was different. Interest rates went up. Everything was going on. So now I had to relearn how to be a realtor and generate and grow and get business. Because when I first started, it was all just kind of filling in. So to answer your question, I just feel like I just wish I had more time to kind of learn it. But I'm thankful now. I was cashing checks. I was good, making money. So it was good. But definitely, if I can go back, I would definitely have the time to figure out a way to build a business and stay out there. For sure.
Well, I would say it was actually the complete opposite for me. I didn't have a big following. I still don't have a big following. A lot of people I know aren't in the market to buy. So I did have to start for sale by owner calls, networking events, like all of that.
How do you feel about calling up for sale by owner, honestly? Like, how do you feel about it?
It sucks.
Okay, let me ask you this. First call you ever made. Like, first call. How did it go?
I was like, and they were like, okay. And if I was on the other end, I would have just been like, okay, girl.
So you would have hung up on yourself?
Well, he kind of chuckled a little. He figured that, I'm sure he figured that I was new and I didn't,
Yeah.
And I still kind of stutter, when I make calls, but
Is it like the anxiety of them?
saying no, hanging up, rejection, like it sucks,
Yeah. Do you still do it to this day?
I try. I need to get better at it.
Yeah.
Cause I know, like you said, right now, like we have to go get it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. See, I mean, for me, I kind of like, I still get, I don't know, I kind of get the anxiety whenever I'm calling, I'm like, I'll be okay if they don't answer the phone. Like, I don't be,
I
I'm
know.
okay. I'm okay if they don't
Once
answer
it
the phone.
goes to voicemail, I'm like,
like,
thank Jesus.
like, it did work.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, like, they have to answer the phone in
for
order
you to
for it
get
to work.
business, yeah.
And so now that I'm in it, like, whenever I hear them answer the phone, I'm like, oh, crap. Hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things. And then, like, for sell by owners are, like, sometimes they're the hardest people to talk to. Because it's like, I'm not interested. Click.
Yeah.
Like, God dang. Like, I'm trying to help you.
The only for sale by owners that are acceptable in my eyes are agents.
What you mean by that?
Like, if you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of them don't.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, you talking about if an agent is selling their home or
yeah.
house? Okay, I see.
That's the only acceptable for sale by owners to me in my eyes.
Yeah.
Or if they have like an immediate family member that's an agent. But why don't you just list it at that point,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But something that I wish that I knew, I was working this deal once and I don't know, it just got really messy. And I did feel a little incompetent and I feel like my buyers kind of knew that, but I was also a little newer. Fresh, actually.
Are we talking about the words you just used?
Huh?
Say that word again.
A little newer?
No, the other word.
Incompetent?
Yeah. That's a nice word. I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a nice word. It's a nice word.
Right.
Go ahead.
I lost my train of thought.
My bad. I had to give you that.
Did it make
It
sense?
made sense.
I
You used it in the right format. Yeah, for sure. I didn't see you going to that word. So
I've used it a couple times. I don't think you realize that. But anyways, I did not okay, so when you get information from a seller,
mm-hmm.
say if something goes wrong during inspection, I learned that until I have a solution for my buyers or until I know for a fact, then that's when I let my buyers know.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to just be passing on information and not know anything.
Okay.
So I think that makes it a little more clear.
Okay.
During a transaction.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that was what you had said that you wish you knew.
I wish that I knew that.
Okay.
To be 100% about something before I let my client know.
Ooh, can I talk about that?
Sure.
Let me tell you something. One of my biggest mistakes that I made in this industry. It's not funny at all. Like, I made a complete mistake. I was fresh. Like, I'm going to say I've been doing real estate for about 6 months. Now, we know whenever you got a new construction home, you know, there's stakes in the yard, supposedly. Not all the time, but there's stakes in the yard that marks off the property line, especially if it's in a subdivision, right? So, I'm showing this client a house, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. I think I can tell you.
If you don't say their name,
I'm not
like you're fine.
I'm not gonna say their name. But anyway, so what happened? And this is not funny at all. This is something that I took very, very serious, and like it was a big mistake that I did. But I'm thankful for my broker at the time because he really got me out of it. And we talked about it and we fixed it. But we get out there, and she's like, "Man, this is a nice house." She loved the house. So we get outside in the backyard, and she's like, the property line is right here. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Like, I didn't go on the maps to figure out it. I didn't check it out. I seen the 2 stakes. They were marked off. I was like, yeah, they're your property lines. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, she bought the house, everything goes. She went to put a fence up and bet your butt that it wasn't her property line. And her yard was actually shorter than what we inspected it to be. So it was a big thing. She was so upset. And I felt so bad because that was me being a new agent and not doing the proper things to tell her and show her everything that she needed to know. And I felt so bad. Like, I mean, it
So
was a
how did
mistake.
it happen? Like, how did it end? Like,
Well,
was she upset with you, or
she was upset with me, but the good thing about it, we were good friends. So I mean, it was one of those
Okay.
things where it's like she was mad, and she had every right to be mad.
Mhm.
I apologize 1,000 times,
Mhm.
but it was one of those things where eventually it was okay, and she understood that I was a newer agent. But I mean, that was a mistake that I can't make that mistake. Like, you know, and that's just me not knowing. I'm not gonna blame it on me not knowing. That's just me. A client had a question about something, and I was like, I assumed. I was like,
it was
yeah.
a new construction?
yeah, it was new. It was new. Huh? Who's? We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about who the builder was, but still, like.
I need to know after all this. You know,
Well, no.
I need to know.
So no. Here's the thing.
The story's not complete unless I know.
But here's the thing. The property lines were correct,
Oh.
but the problem was the markers that I thought it was. It was actually for the property that was going horizontal.
Oh.
So the markers was right. It's just the line stopped it short.
So it was genuinely your fault.
It's genuinely my fault, for sure. So that was one of the worst things that.
Well, you know now.
Oh, I know now for sure.
So
Yeah. Every time I drive by that house, I'll be like, man,
yeah.
messed up.
So they had to take the fence down.
No, that was before they got the fence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But still to this day, like that property is not. They haven't even built a house on that property. But I mean, I can't make that mistake for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's solid.
That's
Solid stuff that, you know, we both learned, I feel. So, why, like, what is something that you can say that makes you feel like, man, I genuinely picked the right career with real estate? Like,
That's a good
why do
question.
you love it?
That's a good question. Well, I think like we spoke of on earlier, it's fulfilling. Like it's a fulfilling industry where, you know, you got people that they're in a situation, like you said, the biggest purchase of their lifetime. I get a chance to be a part of that. And then also it's fulfilling in the whole point is like you have people that think they would never be able to accomplish it. And I'll be honest with you, when I bought my first home, I didn't think like I bought my house when I was 25. I was 25 years old. We built our first home. But before that, it was somebody that was younger than me that bought a house. And I'm like, well, dang, maybe this is obtainable. Maybe I can do this, you know? And I remember whenever I went, I don't know what I signed. If you ask me, Brandon, what did you just sign at that closing? I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I got my keys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember how that felt because it's just like, it didn't hit me until I got into real estate. I was like, dang, I really signed all that? Like when you start looking at the contracts, you start learning all the things in the industry, you like, I don't remember none of that. I just know I got my keys. You know what I'm saying? So now, fast forward, I want to be in a position where I can educate people on that because it is a big thing and you have to make sure you're paying attention because you'll get stuck with something that's bad. Like you'll get different things thrown into your contract that's not supposed to be in there. You know?
And I think that comes with having the right realtor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, for sure. But
The right
yeah,
realtor. Because a lot of things can get passed up.
it definitely, for sure. Especially if your realtor is just not taking the time to educate you with it. But I mean, like you say, like that's why I love the industry. There's your word again. That's why I think I love being a part of it, and I can't let it go. I remember. So that's backtrack because I actually want to know. I want to know. So I know what it took for me to become a realtor. The work that I had to put in. And I remember how proud I was because I was out of school. Like, listen, let me tell you something. When I started studying for real estate, I ain't studied as much real estate that I studied. I didn't study that much in the 4 years in high school. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't.
Well, I had just finished school in 2021.
Yeah, so I was out of school for a little minute. So I had to relearn how to do all this stuff. Man, I was in there making flashcards.
Yeah.
I'm in there, man. And then, so it was another agent that we came together and we done this together and we started this together. So shout out to Amy. That's my dog.
Love her.
But
love her
Amy.
life.
Yeah, we definitely love Amy. But we came in and we went to Books A Million every freaking day.
And
studied every single day. And we made a deal to ourselves that if one of us was to pass it before the other, we would still continue to study.
Aww,
even though that.
I love
so
that.
man, I love the fact because I truly believe that I wouldn't have accomplished it and I wouldn't have pass that test without her, because I mean I couldn't study that on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, so like I say, I know what it took for me to become a realtor. That's why I cherish it so much, because it's a lot, bro. So I do want to ask you this question.
Okay.
How many times it took you to take that test?
Once.
Bro, get out of here.
Swear to God.
Get out of here.
Promise to God. I mean, I'm just academically blessed. I don't really know.
You passed the test on the first time?
On the first try.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that after, off the camera, because it's no way.
I can show you. Do they still have the test scores?
I don't know. But hey, listen, kudos to you, I guess.
However, I barely passed the Louisiana portion. I got a 70%. That was the bare, the bottom line.
Well,
it was hard.
Yeah, it was hard. It took me 3 times.
Really?
3 times.
But you're a great realtor, so it really doesn't matter.
I am a great realtor. Thank you. I appreciate that. But it took me 3 times. And I'm telling you, I remember, like, when that lady told me I passed, I could have cried. Because at the end of that, I was proud. Because it's like, I ain't been to school.
Where did you take your test?
It was some little building that they had in town. They don't do it there anymore. It's something else now. It was like all on
in
college.
Lake Charles?
It's in Lake Charles.
Okay. I haven't been to Lafayette.
Yeah, no. But I'm telling you, I was literally like, it was like a 3-week span. Like I would literally take it every Saturday.
Really?
Like our deal was we would study all week, and then I'm coming straight off the plant, 12 hour shift. I'm going
That's
put
hard.
in an extra. Yeah, so I'm putting in an extra 4 hours after work to study this. So on Saturday I'll take the test. If I fail, we give Sunday off and we back at it Monday. That's how we did it. We did that for 3 weeks straight.
Yeah, I was at the bank and I would study at work. Shout out to my old boss for allowing me to do that. Yeah. Okay,
here's another good question. How did people react when you told them you wanted to become a realtor?
Like people as in like friends?
Like friends, not just friends, but like you just talked about your boss and stuff like that. Like how did they receive it when you said like, hey, I want to become a realtor? How did they receive that?
So the only people that knew were the people that I worked with and my parents.
Okay.
I didn't tell friends.
Okay.
I didn't tell social media.
Yeah, I didn't.
None of that.
I didn't do anything. Did your friends try to talk you out of it?
I didn't tell them.
Nah, okay, you did say that. Okay, well, like your parents, did your parents say, hey?
So my parents are very supportive. At this point, I finished college, so that was all that they were concerned about. As long as you graduate college, I don't care what you do.
Yeah, for sure.
So, graduated college, I was in banking, and like one day I was just like, Mom, like this can't be like what I'm gonna be doing for the next 40 years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, well, what do you want to do? And I was just like, well, real estate, you know? And she was just like, do it. She was like, you're young, do it. You have time.
I like that.
So it was pretty supportive. Like the girls that I work with, they were like, do it. Like you know?
Yeah.
Your parents are behind you 100%. Like, just do it.
Yeah. So, see, for me, I was working at the plant. And I remember having my book open, like, kind of like you studying at work. And there was this guy that was at work, was like, bro, why? Like, you got a good job at the plant. Why would you want to go be a realtor? Like, you're getting for sure money. But that goes back to what we said in the beginning. Like, I don't want to work in the plant.
Yeah.
Like, that's your dream. That's not my dream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, that was one of the things that happened then. But fast forward, you know, there wasn't a lot of people that tried to talk me out of it. It was kind of one of those things like, oh, cool, that it is what it is. But I think that all goes back, and here's another life lesson thing that I like to always say. Like, I feel like you have to be careful with the people you tell certain things to, because at the end of the day, like, they'll be the ones that talk you right out.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person is, if I'm coming to talk to you about something, I've thought about it, I weighed all the options of what can and can't happen. I just want to be like, hey, I just want to tell you about it.
Yeah.
And it's not your friend or your family member's place to be like, you sure? Like, I don't like that. Like, I wouldn't even share it with you if I felt like somebody was going to do that to me.
It's not necessarily, I didn't tell my friends because I thought judgment. I'm the type of person, like, if I have something set on my mind, I'm going to do it and just pop out with it. You know?
I like that. I really do like that.
You know, so I don't know. But also, too, back to what other people think, I think a lot of people don't understand entrepreneurship.
True.
And a lot of people are so stuck on like, okay, graduate college, get a good job, work until you retire, and then that's it. You know, but which is fine.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of good jobs out there like that, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it also goes back to the fact that, you know, being a realtor, I think it's because what a lot of people don't understand is you don't get a paycheck. Like, you get paid for when you sell.
You do not.
So
and okay, back to why it's so stressful for unserious people. You don't get a paycheck until closing.
Tell them again. Tell them again.
You do not get a paycheck until closing at all.
Yeah.
So it is very frustrating when somebody is playing with your time.
Exactly, for sure, 100%. And it's not to sugarcoat it.
That's what we should have said from the beginning.
Yeah, it is. But that's like I said, it's one of those things where people think that you get paid monthly, or you get paid every week, or every 2 weeks, whatever the case may be. You don't get paid like that
at all. And no type of no hourly, nothing. And then, you know, you got to pay taxes out of it when you do get it. Like, it's not.
But
it's just not.
But something you didn't say is you also have office fees that you have to pay.
Oh, and and monthly,
and real estate fees,
MLS
and brokerage fees, and MLS
quarterly
fees, and quarterly fees, and oh my god, and then renewal of license.
Expensive.
So it can actually cost you to be a realtor than you making money.
Yes, it quite literally takes money in real estate to make money.
For sure, because you got marketing.
Oh, signage.
You got signage. You got all kind of stuff. I can't even
add it all up right now.
I can't even put it all in your mind.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a
so you just don't get paid unless you close.
Exactly. So that's why I say that's why a lot of people don't understand it, is because you go from that, you're going to jumping into entrepreneurship, and you're trying to do that, but you're leaving a plant, you're leaving a bank where you make money
that you're used to,
and you used to
every 2 weeks.
You're getting paid every 2 weeks. So now you have to step out on a limb and be like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is it's tough. Yeah, it's really tough.
But I will say that I did kind of start a little hot. Like, I was really like hungry. But that's because
go ahead.
2 weeks, like, I wasn't getting paid every 2 weeks. Yeah. Like, I needed the income.
Exactly.
So I would not change quitting my job completely.
Yeah. Y'all, she used to come in the office. She have a little envelope. She ready to work.
Oh yeah.
I remember you was.
I need to get back to that.
You need to get back to it. You was killing. I was like, bruh, she hungry. Like, when you first came into, I still remember your first day at the office. When you came in, you was working. I was like, dang, she killing it. Like, she getting it. Like,
I was in the office every day.
Yeah. That was pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Even on weekends, like, they gave me a key and I was there on weekends.
Yeah, I love it. But at the end of the day, I'll say this, and then we can kind of wrap it. Mm-hmm. The thing about it, I love it. I love real estate, and I think this is what we want for this platform. We kind of want to just kind of talk and have real conversations about it, because there's a lot of things that we go through. There's a lot of things that people don't see. Mm-hmm. So this is one thing that I want to say. I always say this, like, if you have somebody, if you're a regular person, I'm not going to say regular person, that's not what I meant. But if you're a person that's not a realtor, and you follow a realtor, or you see a realtor that's closing, I genuinely get happy, because at the end of the day, you don't know what it took for that realtor to close that deal. You understand? Like, tears. You know what I'm saying? Some of these deals are being held together by duct tape and hope and tears and
that paycheck could literally be a paycheck after 6 months of work.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And they may not know where their next paycheck is coming from. Exactly. So please do not waste anybody's time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if you see a realtor, I feel like, here's the thing, if you see a realtor that's out there, that's closing deals, that's, hey, got it under contract, I just closed, you should congratulate them, because like you say, you don't know what they had to do to get that deal to close, and they put in a lot of work, and a lot of these people, this is their primary source of income, and they are out there killing it. You don't know that 3 days before closing, the client may have said, hey, look, I don't want this house no more, we backing out the deal, or inspection come up and they're like, hey, we can't close this deal because of this and that. Like, it's so many things. So it's like and then, like, it goes back to what I wish I would have known before that. I used to get these houses under contract, and I would count the commissions. And you don't count the commissions until it's in the bank, in your hand. You can touch it, because at the end of the day,
it's so hard because you get so excited.
Yeah, for sure. But still, You can't get
can't
caught
do
up on that. You
Don't
can't.
do it.
You can't, because at the end of the
Because
day,
you're hurting your own feelings.
exactly. You can look at it and be like, oh, I got a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 check coming in, but you like tomorrow the lender tell you like, hey, it's falling through, and you like, now that 6, 7, it's gone. And you know what I'm saying? So I think that's a big thing that people gotta understand. But yeah, man, I just think, like I said, we got a lot of things planned for what we're doing here. I'm excited to be doing this with you. Like, I feel like there's so many things that we can share, so many people that have a lot to talk about. We're going to bring them on, let them talk about it. But I'm just excited about this platform and for us to be able to do this. It's going to be cool for sure.
Same. I'm very excited. And it was nerve-wracking at first, but I think the more we talked about it,
yeah, for
you
sure.
know,
for
and
sure.
we're both passionate about it, so it just made it a little easier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be working with you again.
Same.
Conversation for another episode.
I know. Sure.
For sure. We good, man.